everyone, and welcome to this online broadcast of the 5th edition of Seedstars Regional Summit. I'm Raisa Yao, Community and Event Manager at Seedstars in Africa. We're about to start a Seedstars World episode number 4 in Africa, and you should expect exciting 5 startup pitches from Untitled Congo, DR Scale, Task Technology Solution, Sparko, and Zindi, and an announcement of who will be a startup finalist in Africa and represent the countries in the finals.
Hi, we're Tasca from Namibia. 2020 has been a particularly challenging year, and that is why we want to thank the men and women from Seedstars for their invaluable guidance and mentorship through this time.
Thank you, Seedstars, for helping us expose our startup to the rest of the world.
It's been an honor to be a part of this network of amazing startups from around the world.
Together, let's make a difference.
How the selection process of winners at the Seedstars World competitions work this year. Startups start with filling the application form. After the review, those who meet the minimum criteria get invited to the online Seedstars Academy. Throughout the academy, we monitor the performance of the entrepreneurs as they get assigned to courses and tests. Upon the completion of the academy, startup that score the highest get invited to meet with the Seedstars World team and mentors on one-on-one. As the last step, we invite outstanding experts in their fields as jury members to the online pitching episodes. All those components help us form a solid and complex decision on who Seedstars startup finalists are.
We have an amazing jury that will be helping us judge the different startups that we'll be pitching today. The first one that I would like to introduce is Joelle Kalanga, Managing Director at Tianda Earth from Angola. We also have Amdia Ismaila, General Manager at Venture Capital Ghana, Abu Kassim, CEO at Josie Angel, based in South Africa. And finally, Adaizi Zita, Program Manager at Seedstars, based in Nigeria.
This event wouldn't be possible without the amazing partners we have, so thank you to the Southern African Innovation Support for supporting the competition and startups.
Good morning, I am Phil, CTO and co-founder of Untitled Congo. So here is the problem. How many of you have a project in mind or on paper? Is it fun to get it financed? No, absolutely not. Funding financing to set up a project remains a major problem for African project holders. Faced with this situation, we created Mojo Funding, which is a crowdfunding platform in order to finance a creative or entrepreneurial project in different sectors. We launched it 3 months ago, but we already have 14 projects financed, estimated at $18,000. We have a great team, we have the solution, we have a beautiful product, and we have traction. So if you'd like to take part, if you'd like to help us, please feel free to get in touch. Together, let's make difference. Thank you.
Phil, thanks for your presentation. Just a question from my side. In terms of the segment that you're targeting, can you just talk us through that? Is there a particular niche that you're focusing on? That's the first question. And then what's the size of that market?
Oh, thank you for this question. It's a good question. Firstly, we are focusing on project holders. You know, many African project holders or entrepreneurs are facing many problems, many difficulty to set up their projects for lacking of financing. That's why we created Mojo Funding. We want public user can contribute, and we want to get in touch investors and project holders. So about the size of the market, we are estimated at 300,000.
Abu, has your question been answered?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, so my question is, who else is doing this in Congo?
Doing what?
Who else is doing what you are doing, the funding platform?
No, Barry. We are just the first one. First, we were inspired by when we saw Facebook integrated a crowdfunding in its platform. So we said, why not for African to? We tried, we found that there is no other crowdfunding platform in Congo. So we decided to build it. So we are only the one who make it.
Good. And if I may just ask a follow-up question, so far, have you been able to raise any money for any project?
Yes, we have already we have 14 projects already financed, estimated at $18,000. As you can see in our traction, in the traction, we have already 14 14 projects financed, estimated at $18,000.
Okay. Thank you.
Welcome.
No question from my end.
Do you have some question for you?
Yeah, so I would say very interesting projects. Well, I think crowdfunding is running through in African markets. It's coming up very interesting. So I just wanted to understand a little bit from the Congolese perspective. How do you see the shared economy, and how do you think you're actually going to add value to that? And what is your actual plan to grow your crowdfunding platform so that it reaches to more people and impact more your economy?
Firstly, there are main projects that can bring higher our economy, but the matter is that those projects are for some time abandoned. Others is now surviving. So if we help project holders to make their project come true or to realize their project, so it can have a very good impact in our economic. And some investors have money to invest in a project or to finance a project, but they don't know where to invest their money or where to put their money. So they just kept their money in the bank, maybe, or in their house. So I think when they register in our platform and they can see some beautiful projects, they can invest their money that they kept from the bank. When they invest it to a project that's beneficial for our economic too.
Okay, thank you. And just last one question. What makes your team special? What do you have that is very specific, that is very unique, that will make you are showing us like there's 4 people? What source do you have that can let me, for example, invest in not in your project but in your team?
Firstly, we have a great team with a good driven marketing. We know how to bring customers. We have good people in speaking that can convince customers, as we are planning to have a conference with all the honorable in our city. As for some time here in Congo, there is many campaign of funding, but they are not doing it in online. So we decided to invite all these people to know that we have a crowdfunding platform so they can invest. We have a good team with a good strategy marketing. We know how to bring customers, and we have a beautiful product too.
Thank you, Phil.
One question, please. One question, Phil. So I wanted to find out if you get 7% as Aztec Congo, the investors or those that fund the projects, what do they get in return for funding that project? Are you involved in that conversation, or you just let who the investor and the customer discuss that? Why you still take your 7%, and how do you check that?
Firstly, our funding take various forms, from donation to investments or capital loan. We only take 7% commission for the money invested or the fund invested in a particular project. Whatever about the customer, the project holders and the investor, they can discuss themselves. If you visit, if you go in umojafunding.com, you will see that there is some project in form of donation. There is other projects that the project holder say, if you give me maybe $100, I will give you back a price, maybe 5% in my project. So it's up to the project holders and the investor.
Africa's informal economy, which consists of informal vendors and informal workers, is valued at over 38% of sub-Saharan Africa's GDP, according to the IMF and the ILO, respectively. However, Africa's informal economy is plagued by market inefficiencies and economic and financial exclusion. We aim to address this through our informal sector universe called AHA, of which Dialer Skill is actually a subset vertical that addresses the informal, that is an informal sector labor connectivity platform, where we address market inefficiencies through intermediation, and also we collect transactional data to provide financial inclusion and also policy planning. We believe that actually a new economic story is being written in Africa, and it's our team vision to actually make sure the informal sector is central to this story. We believe that the labor market alone is valued at over 8 billion, and we believe we can capture 10% of this. Through our partnerships with Orange and even Botswana's Ministry of Labor.
Yes, I wanted to find out your competition in Botswana and maybe Africa. Do you have any idea those that are doing exactly the same thing you're doing?
Absolutely. Within Botswana itself, our main competition is actually independent contractors, right? So people who are doing service providers who are going for it themselves, who are searching for jobs themselves. Within the region, particularly Southern Africa, our biggest competitor is a company called Sweep South. So those are our major competition so far that we know or that are developed within the region.
Okay, a follow-up question to that is, how would people who go through your platform come back? So I have been connected to someone who does this particular tax, and do I need to come back to your platform? What's the...
Yeah, that's actually a really good question, right? So we've partnered up. Initially, that was a big problem for us in terms of how do you create that stickiness. The way we do that is that we don't just provide market connectivity. Our biggest value proposition is actually collecting the transactional data for each service provider so that we can use them with our financial services partner so that this individual can actually get access to financial services. So the more they transact on our platform, the richer their credit history or their credit transaction record is on the platform. So we really educate our service providers about this. And second of all, we provide them with protection. So we create a digital contract. One of the biggest problems we found in this market was that they had no protection. So by creating these digital contracts, we protect our laborers. That's what keeps making them come back.
Thank you.
If I may come in, thank you for the presentation. How much do you make in doing this?
So far, we've been doing a pilot for the past 6 months. Well, before COVID, and we've managed to make $70,000 US dollars. I mean, $7,000 US dollars just from our pilot stage alone. So that's how we made over 6 months. It would have been better if it wasn't for COVID, but.
So do you have a service charge? Is it a percentage, or is a service charge per the per each client that you deal with? How does it work?
Yeah. So we have two monetization streams. Our first monetization stream is the commission that you speak of. We charge a percentage. On average, our revenues we get from our commission is $14 US per transaction. And then, but our biggest monetization stream, which we're building towards, is actually providing brokerage and for financial services for this market. And eventually, actually, our big vision is providing an informal sector fund where we can actually grow our wealth while we're growing the informal sector well. So, but our main monetization now is commissions and brokerage.
I'm Nuno, founder of Tast. Over the past 5 years, the business landscape has been volatile with rampant retrenchment across Africa. In Namibia alone, over 130,000 people lost their jobs pre-COVID, increasing the number of people living below the poverty line. Aggravating this, over 20 million people are at risk of losing their jobs in Africa. Our founders from Namibia, Angola, and South Africa know firsthand about the challenges of unemployment. By disrupting the traditional way of employing people, Tast offers a place where freelancers can grow, and businesses that spend up to 49% of B2B expenses can cut this cost by 30% if they hire freelancers. With 15% of the labor force doing one task a month, we project a minimum revenue of 82,000 from Namibia to a potential of 1.2 billion from Africa. We have bootstrapped since the incorporation and acquired over 300 registered freelancers and over 20 completed tasks during the 3 months testing period before COVID started. Join us in utilizing the rich African human potential for the betterment of all.
Nuno, thank you for your presentation and brief. So I'm very interested in this topic. So I would like to know, from your perspective, you mentioned your market, which is bigger. Just confirm the numbers. You mentioned 1.2 billion.
Yes, we're looking at 1.2 billion if we account for the working force for the whole Africa.
Okay,
so
perfect.
we had a minimum of about 500,000 in Namibia, which is a very small market. But if you have to scale and look into the African market, it goes up to, that amount.
Okay. I'll ask my apologies. Apparently, my neighbor just started building something, but I can't move around. But yeah, so the question will actually go, Nuno, you are operating in Namibia now, so far, but what are actually your growth plans? And when do you expect to basically reach your goal? And my question here is the following. For example, your market in Namibia is composed of so many potential customers. How many have you reached already? And what is your forecast for the next 2 years in terms of customers, in terms of revenue?
All right. So it's been quite slow, but this year we've actually engaged with a couple of companies who we want to partner, and they can be basically implement influencer marketing in collaboration with companies. At the end of the day, we are planning to at least have over 15,000 freelancers registered and up to 30 companies that can rely on freelancers from Namibia. The intention is then, after 2 years, to scale into the SADC countries. Since we are founders from Angola and South Africa, the idea is to get into that market as well. So those are the first 3 countries we'll get into. And then from there, as we keep growing, we then take over the SADC countries.
Thank you.
No, quick question from my side. How do you vet the freelancers? There's a risk in them underperforming.
Okay, so we will be doing a background check on them, as in experience that they've worked and the qualifications. But during this testing period, what we intend to do is actually have them perform certain tasks that can justify their skills. So only the skills that they've performed on the app will be sort of highly justifiable, and then experience based on referrals that we've gotten from other people, then we accumulate that as well as feedback to the platform.
Hello, everyone. My name is Bright Nyundu from Sparkle. We help businesses in Africa accept payments from their customers. Over 70% of Africa's population do not have bank accounts, but they've got mobile money accounts. The problem is most payment gateways in Africa do not have options to allow their merchants collect from different countries. So what we've done is we've partnered with different mobile money service providers across the continent and banks and card processors, and we're allowing our businesses collect money from any users in any country. The serviceable obtainable market is $5 billion. On fair advantages, we are building what we are calling a mobile money roaming for payments, and we are second-time founders. Our traction, we've set up in Zambia, South Africa, and we're setting up in Kenya.
Hello, Bright. Good morning from Accra. Thanks for your presentation. I wanted to find out in terms of competition, how are you going to penetrate using the banks? You know, some of the banks also have their POS that they give to their customers, and the various mobile money platforms that the telcos are currently also leading. So how are you looking to work with these two who have muscles that they can easily get you out of the market?
Okay, so what we've noticed is in the pace of the point of sale machines, that space is dominated by the banks, and banks are onboarding informal or semi-informal merchants is always a problem because they have to stick to very hard regulatory rules. So that's the market that we're focusing, the semi-informal market for those businesses that can't access bank services. And for mobile money services, they are not unified on one platform for most of them, and most of them are country specific or country exclusive. So mobile money in Kenya, just mobile money in Kenya. In Zambia, just mobile money in Zambia. So we're unifying everybody on one platform.
How are you going to deal with the regulatory regimes of these countries?
Yes, so in different countries, we're partnering with different local payment platforms who have licenses, and that's how we are dealing with this. So right now, we've only got a license in Zambia. In Kenya, it's a partnership. And we're also doing a partnership with South Africa.
Please tell me about you and your team, because you said you were second founders.
Yes, so we first founded a company called BroadPay in Zambia. It's a bill payment platform. So when we wanted to collect payments from other countries, it was a problem. And in Zambia, we didn't have a payment gateway, so we decided to build one from scratch.
And now the team, who is working with you?
So for the co-founders, I'm a software developer. The CTO is also a software developer. We both have software engineering degrees from Russia. The CFO is an ACCA who's the former CFO for MultiChoice, Zambia, and Vodafone. Then the rest of the team are a team of 7. So combined, we are a team of 10. So in different departments.
Thank you.
Right. Question from my side. It sounds like your value proposition is that you can accept multiple currencies. Is that the way you see it as well? And if so, how many?
So our value proposition is that we can accept multiple different options from different countries. So once we've integrated different players in a particular country, then we can accept their local currency. So at the moment, we're accepting 5 currencies.
I'm Selena, CEO of Zindi. Zindi is a data science marketplace with African roots but global reach. Our community of over 20,000 data scientists are solving some of the world's most pressing problems using AI and machine learning. While all companies are generating more data than ever before, few have access to the AI solutions that they need. On Zindi, they can run competitions to get AI solutions and talent quickly and affordably, while data scientists get the chance to build their skills while connecting with potential employers. AI is one of the fastest growing fields in the world today, currently valued at $3 billion. Our current annual revenue is $400,000, and we have a user base of over 20,000 data scientists. Over the next 2 years, we'll be scaling our user base and our revenue streams to hit profitability. Together, we can create a world that connects brilliant minds with the problems they were born to solve. Help us change the world.
One question I have: what the members of your team? Who are they?
So in my other slide deck, I guess I had my team. I'm one of the co-founders. My other two co-founders are Megan Yates and Echo Duker. Echo is from Ghana, and he was previously the chief analytics officer at Barclays Bank. Megan Yates is South African, and she was one of the first data scientists that was working in the field. So she's very technical. Echo has a lot of experience in the business side. I myself have a development background where I've launched a number of international communities and platforms before. So we kind of have a diverse 3-person co-founding team. And it's rounded out by a developer. We have one data scientist, a community manager, and a communications specialist.
Okay, thank you.
Hi, Selena.
Hi.
Yes, very nice presentation, very quick. So I just wanted to quickly deep dive into your business model. If you can just describe how you make money, and as well as your traction. I could get some of the numbers. How do you actually going to grow them? What's your plans in terms of scalability? And as well, what challenge are you facing currently in your business?
Okay, sure. So we have 3 main revenue streams currently, which is competition hosting fees, recruitment services, and corporate sponsorships. And so over the next year, we'll be looking to scale all of those revenue streams. Our current traction is, like I said, our revenue for last year was $400,000. We're looking to approximately double that over the next year. And that's one of the challenges actually is for us is to ensure that we develop a proper sales pipeline right now. Quite honestly, that's one of our challenges is that we don't have a big sales team. So we want to scale our sales processes. And as well, our current customer lifetime value is about $7,000. We have a few repeat clients, but we want to improve the long-term relationships with our clients and start to get more repeat business.
Actually, you touched my point was how usually in a startup is the repetition. How do you scale if you have to host competitions? And we are talking about people moving around operations, because it seems to me like it's very interesting, but at the same time it's very challenging to scale in terms of operation.
Yes.
So, I think you got my point.
Yeah, I mean, we think that the recruitment services could end up being something that is more of a repeat business possibility. And we've also looked at memberships with our clients, and that's something that we'd like to explore more next year.
Okay,
Selena,
thank you.
How do you mitigate the risk of disintermediation?
Oh, I don't know what disintermediation, what does that refer to?
Doing the transaction outside of the platform. You connect them on the platform and then they disintermediate you, meaning they don't use your platform to do the transaction.
Oh, well, so with the competitions, obviously that has to be on the platform. That's something that they can't go on the side with. The recruitment side, I guess you're correct that they could try to contact some of the winners, but we have really unique insight into all of our data scientists, and it's not made public. So companies obviously have an incentive to go through us to get more information about the data scientists that we have.
So the first one, DR Congo. Odinga, it is a great solution that you have, and you are locally rooted crowdfunding solution in Africa, but the market potential is hard to access. Aluta with Diascape. You have the courage to tackle one of the greatest challenges in this continent, the informal economy, but you still need to show more traction. Tax technology solution. No. You tackle a market with big potential, but your key business is always a challenge for this kind of solution. Sparkle, bright. You provide a necessary solution in a booming market, and accepting multiple currencies is an advantage, but the big tech telcos and banks entering the market can be a threat. And finally, Cindy, Selena, you have shown good traction in the market with good potential, but scaling up can be a real challenge in terms of sales. And now it is the time. So the winner of Sisters World Africa episode number 4 in Africa is Sparkle.
Yeah, I don't know how to say. I'm in a team of there are great minds and great startups really trying to solve big problems in the continent. And I'm really humbled and excited to be among these minds, among this team. Yeah, I think congrats is to everybody, to the whole group, to have reached this stage. And we just have to work together and solve problems on the continent.